Hello and welcome. You're listening to the SPAG Dialogue podcast. We're celebrating the Breast Cancer Awareness Month. We've got a lot of content out there for you, but right now I'm in conversation with Rima Sangvi, who is the co-founder of Pinkathon. We're talking today about community building and its role in breaking stigma, but what I really want to get started with is that breast cancer today is one of the most stigmatized diseases. And be it behavioral changes or body dysmorphia, there are a lot of severe effects of the treatment, and a lot of times women face several challenges due to this. I'd like you to maybe give us a glimpse into what you might have seen in your experience in terms of the challenges that women have had to face because of breast cancer.
Ignore, I think, and you will agree with me that one of the most beautiful parts of a woman's body is her breasts, right? And imagine when the breasts get affected. What happens to the self-confidence of a woman? She's so proud of them. And there she goes, and then she now has to deal with the fear that she's probably going to lose one of them, and that's probably the smallest of the fear, because then there is a fear of death, there's a fear of incapacity, there's so many fears, and everything with the word cancer starts with the word fear as well. I think there is just this whole thing that nothing in their life is ever going to be the same. So what happens to this woman? This woman loses her self-confidence. She does not know, the kind of anxiety that she goes through, because of, so many unpleasant events that take place in her life, such as hair loss, nausea, sexual problems, childbearing becomes such a big issue after breast cancer. So all of this have such a significant effect on their family life, their marital status, their quality of life, all put together. And then this completely shatters a woman completely. It's very easy to say that, stay positive. It's okay to lose a breast. It's okay to not have one breast. It's so easy to say, but what goes through a woman at that point of time is it cannot be described. So yes, there are long-term negative effects on a woman, whether it's physically or mentally. It's long-term, and a lot of care has to be taken of such patients. And basically, the word cancer kills you in the first place. So starting from there, and then it's breast cancer. So your beauty, your hair, and everything that had to do with, when you say a beautiful woman, suddenly that whole image is shattered. So I think all of that put together have long-term negative effects on the mental as well as the physical health of a woman. And this is where I feel that the stigma needs to be fought, and this is where a community comes into play, but we will get to that later. But this is what it completely shatters a woman.
Absolutely. I think it's a lot to do with societal stigma as well, the thinking, the conditioning that people grow up with. I think that plays such an important role. And I think all of us know at least one person who either not directly but indirectly has seen this play out in their lives, where maybe sometimes people don't go out and let even their relatives know that they have been diagnosed with breast cancer, because it's a very unpleasant situation to really be in. But
absolutely. But I want to tell you that one is, of course, societal, right? And that is actually what they need to face. But there are also real symptoms, and those real symptoms, especially connected to breast cancer, are humongous. Let it be anger, disturbance in concentration, loss of appetite, distraction of senses, just the fear of death and anxiety, incapacities, it's just so many. And psychological, they go through so many psychological stages, and then to add to it is societal. So I think it's absolutely traumatizing for a woman.
Something that's definitely hard to imagine. But lately, of course, there have been a lot of conversations, and I think one does owe it to you for really putting that conversation at the forefront and getting people really involved in talking about breast cancer and just kind of making people a little more aware about it. I just want to understand from you how this whole idea of building a community kind of came about, and then I want to get a little bit into how community kind of goes along, community
Sure.
building goes a long way in breaking that stigma. But just to get an insight from you first, how did you really go about that process of building this community?
So ignore, what really happened is I think it was meant to happen. So we just, I'm an athlete and so is Milind, my partner. And both of us together thought of, coming up with a run for women. At that point of time, we just didn't want to come up with a run because, for the sake of having a run. And, we were talking to a lot of women, going through their issues, the stigmas attached to all women causes, let alone breast cancer. So whether in public, if you have to say boobs, bra, butt, or anything like that, had a stigma attached to it, right? You cannot say such things in public. Okay, so those stigmas actually gave us the motivation of starting a run. And what happened is we spoke, and one of the main causes, we spoke to Devika Bhojwani. And Devika Bhojwani is a breast cancer survivor. And, she's a socialite. She's, she was also famous, is also famous right now as well. And she went through breast cancer. And she, from being from such a well-educated family at that point, also when she realized that she had breast cancer, she couldn't believe it. More than that, she couldn't talk about it. She went back to her family like, it was not normal to talk about breast cancer. Like she couldn't tell her own family at that point of time that she had breast cancer. And when she later narrated it to us, and she finally thought that she had to get hold of her life and she started talking about it, is when her inspirational story came out, and we spoke to her and we understood the stigmas attached to the word breast cancer, all stigmas attached to a woman. And that's where we said, Pinkathon was named Pinkathon even before we took up the cause of breast cancer. So I think it was all meant to be. And then when we started, and let me tell you, initially it was a run with a cause, right? A cause that was there where we thought that stigma was attached to, and that's why it started with breast cancer. And Devika was closely associated with us and is closely associated with us. So it started with all of that. And let me tell you, for me, that time it was just, for me, it was an experiment. We started it as an experiment. But what happened, Ignore, is at the first event itself, women in India do not run. And we realized that. So I actually went door to door saying that, listen, you have to come out and run. Fitness is everything. Health is everything. You need to get out there and run. And, we actually managed to collect 2,500 women at that point of time in the first edition of Mumbai Pinkathon. And what we realized is that when I went, and when we on that stage, on that particular day, we had no speeches lined up, we had nothing lined up, but we saw women in the audience coming up and telling us, listen, can I come up on stage and give my story? And I think we had 5 to 6 stories there that came up on that stage. And I tell you today, Ignore, that it changed my life. When I saw what was happening there, that on a given Sunday, women of all size, shapes, colors, wearing saris, some wearing just t-shirts, shorts, some wearing salwar kameez, and they were just running because they felt liberated. They felt like they had got freedom. They felt like they left everything behind that Sunday and came to celebrate themselves. And then came out these unbelievable stories of, fighting it all out, and what happened to them, and how they fought it, and how they wanted to, spread that message and tell them that, in fact, most of the survivors there spoke about how they were there for anybody in that crowd who was a breast cancer survivor. And, it suddenly became this whole safety net that was created for women.
It gives me goosebumps just listening about it. It's almost, I mean, I won't even say it's almost, Pinkathon is a movement. And I think that is something that's quite well established, and especially for breast cancer. And I've seen that from personal experience. I think it's just something that people have just drawn so much strength from. And I think that's where I'd like to dive into the whole community aspect in general. Like, building a community goes a really long way to be a sort of a support group for people going through the same thing, because a lot of times it's very hard to talk about what you're going through. And especially since you highlighted the various things that your body goes through, the kind of behavioral changes that you go through because of breast cancer, and then of course the stigma aspect of it, there's just so much going on. It's so important to know that you're not alone, that there are other women out there who are going through exactly the same thing, and it's normal. It's just something that you need to embrace. You need to fight it out, and you need to really just be positive about it, but positive in the sense that you have that support group. You're not alone.
Absolutely, you're bang on. That's the one line. You are not alone. Because a woman with cancer imagines a future full of pain and suffering to herself, right? So she imagines that, and she observes like her lost aspirations, and it's just the psychological stages are just unbearable. So what a community does now is that she has a new friend to talk to, a big new friend of circles to talk to, someone who's going through the same problems, someone who can associate with her problems. Sometimes during this whole journey of fighting breast cancer, even your family fails to understand, because they are going through so much with you that sometimes they take it for granted. But someone who's already gone through that, and that's the community that we built, that everybody could talk to everybody. Today the community is year on year 100,000 women run with us because they've realized the importance of a fit life and how they can avoid breast cancer, how checks can be done, how everybody insists on their friends to go and get a check done, and there should not be no stigma attached. There are stigmas even attached to getting a check done. You won't believe it. We give out free treatment. We give out free checks. Go get your mammography done for free. How many actually used it? Because there are still stigmas in that. How can I get my breast checked?
There's also fear, right? I mean, the fear of the unknown. Like you feel
absolutely,
like you feel at some level that if you go get checked, then it's all going to become a bit too real.
It also will become a bit too real, or also I think in the awareness is missing, and I feel that people don't realize that this could happen to them because we believe that this cannot happen to us. The fact is 1 in every 9 women today is has breast cancer. So and everybody needs to get a check done. It's just like getting a blood test done, but nobody wants to do it. So and you're right, maybe people don't want to but it's better to know than to not know.
Absolutely. But I think something really important to highlight here is also that it's not just about the patient, it's also about the caregiver, right? And I think this community also helps the caregiver know, that if there's somebody in their family is suffering from breast cancer and going through this treatment, they need to be there for them with all the support that they can give. And I think that is something as well that a community really helps reinforce.
Absolutely, absolutely. We have daughters of mothers who are suffering from breast cancer, and they actually, really go out there and speak about how, what it takes to be a daughter of on their mothers who are suffering from breast cancer and how they need to support. And saying, I'm running for my mother. They run with plaques saying, I'm running for my mother, I'm running for my grandmom, I'm running for someone else. And it just, everybody's running for somebody. And that is beautiful. I'm running for my aunt, Marcy, it doesn't matter. And that's what brings the connectivity, right? And the belongingness of the community. And everybody's running for somebody, everybody's sharing experiences, their stories, what the best practices actually, what has helped and what has not helped. That is and I think positivity is, if you're positive and also you make them believe in themselves, I think it's half the battle won. And that's what the community does. And also imagine 100,000 women talking the same language. I mean, the stigma has to go, period.
I mean, that's a 100% from my side on that one for sure. But I mean, do you really see a change though, Reema? And I think this is, I do know that it's a bit of a trick question, but do you really see that our mindset's changing?
Oh, absolutely. And not only mindsets, you can see it by the sheer numbers, darling. So today, in the first edition, I struggled for 2,500 women to run with us. So I had to, basically what I'm trying to tell you is that we had to say that, listen, a fit life is a good life, right? So please come out there and experience running, because one, there's no cost attached. You just have to come and run and just feel the freedom and celebrate yourself. I think today, with 100,000 unique numbers across the year running with us, it is a huge achievement. We are planning to take it to international waters with the same message and build this community. Our intention is to paint the world pink, and it's going to remain, and we are never going to stop. And we are never going to stop because we see the change. If we never saw the change, then we would not be motivated to do what we're doing. We see the change today. We see great conversations happening around. People are proud of being a part of the community Pinkathon. And that's what gives us the motivation, energy to make this bigger and bigger and spread the message far and wide.
That is beautiful. In fact, just before I wrap this up, it is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. We have been, of course, putting out a lot of content to help people just know more, and I think it's the first step to change is conversation. And we at SPAG Dialogue really believe that with all our heart. What is the one thing that you'd like to say to women out there, when it comes to breast cancer?
Firstly, I'd say speak up, talk about it. There is no issues in telling the world that you have breast cancer. And most importantly, be vigilant and be optimistic. But you have to be vigilant. You have to get those tests done. I already said that being positive, and for people who are going through this, and being positive and believing in yourself is half the battle won. By just being positive, it doesn't work. You have to be vigilant. I would say that a patient, someone whose parents have already had it, mother especially, must get screened at least 10 years prior. So, for example, your mother had breast cancer at 50, you must get screened at least 10 years prior to see that everything's okay with you. And I don't think there should be any inhibitions to doing that. So first, get that stigma out of your head. Speak up. Talk about it if you already have it, and be a part of a community. Once you've recovered from it, give back to the society, talk about it, tell them about your experiences so people can learn from your experiences. But women like us who have been spared must be vigilant, right? Absolutely vigilant, and get yourself tested. Even before I end, one of my closest friends, has, and I won't name her right now, but she has had breast cancer. And I met her after, because, she moved to another country altogether, and she came back, and, she was just sitting with me over dinner, and she says, over a conversation, she told me that she had breast cancer, and this is why she disappeared from everybody's life for about 5 years. And I said, and did you ever not think about picking up the phone and talking to me about it? So she says, no, and also, can I request you that please don't still tell anybody? Okay, so it's still now the stigma remains. And I said, I will put it out on social media, darling, that you had it and you fought it and you're a warrior, and this is what they still tell me, that please don't tell anybody that I had breast cancer.
You're really moving in the right direction. And thank you so much for doing everything that you do, Reema, and for joining us today on this podcast for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. We hope to do our bit in just keeping that conversation going, really. Thank you for listening. If you'd like to tune in to more such conversations, subscribe to the SPAG Dialogue podcast or visit our website spagdialogue.com.